Just a reminder to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Okay. I think we have everything. I'm losing my mind today, which is perfect for this theme. I just have had like a series of unfortunate events, I feel like, this week that have made life just like so stressful and crazy that I feel like I don't have any patience. None. I don't know where it went. It's gone. It's not loading.
Yeah.
Error. It just doesn't exist.
Okay.
So how's your week going?
Pretty good. You know, so the ironic theme because I actually have a lot of patience for the bullshit.
How? What's the secret?
My dad is the most patient man I've ever met in my life. I think he just taught me patience. Like I can have my moments of impatience for sure, but like all things considered, I think I'm one of the more patient people I know.
Yeah.
Certain things
I don't have that.
But otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I just grace. Like I just give things some grace. You know,
I need to learn.
All good things take time, baby.
I get with certain things. I guess it's just I don't have patience for disruption. When someone says, I'm going to be there at 4 p.m. And then at 3:45, it's like, hey, I won't be making it. And I'm like, I went out of my way.
That's not what I guess that is a form of patience, but that's not what I think of when I hear the word patience. Like for me, that's one thing I don't have patience for. If you disrupt my schedule or ineptness, I've talked about this on another episode. If you say you're going to do something and you're like proving to be inept at it, I lose my patience. That's one of the quick ways to lose my patience. But when I think of patience, I think of just like giving things time and understanding that like it might not be right the first time and having to kind of like go with it a little bit. That's where I have a lot of patience. But like not like when someone says they're going to do something and don't do it, I don't have a lot of patience for that.
This is going to be the perfect theme for you.
Is it?
I can feel it.
Okay.
Which, by the way, hi guys. Welcome back to another episode of Two Hot Takes. I can't even talk. I'm so anxious.
I forgot how to do this.
I'm your host, Morgan.
I'm Alejandra.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
The people call me Ale. I'm getting introduced a lot as Ale lately.
Okay.
I think it's time for a rebrand. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that to everyone. But I do go by Ale. So
yeah, it's been a thing for a while.
Yeah, it has.
Okay. Well,
just catching on.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So this first one, it is 3 months old. It's been out there for a minute, but it is titled, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Listen to My Mother-in-Law's Speech on My Wedding? So I hate speeches. I never understood the appeal. I think they are boring, exhausting, and very, very forced.
What?
But having said that, this is just my opinion and I never forced it on anyone.
Fair.
I have sat through long, excruciating speeches without complaining like any other decent human being. When it was my turn to get married, however, I requested no speeches. We wrote that we loved everyone and that we knew they loved us. So if you wanted to say something, say it directly to us in private. My husband thought it was funny, but he knew my feelings about speeches. We had a small wedding with only loved ones, a weekend long. My husband loves games, so the wedding planner did a really great Taskmaster type of game, and everyone appreciated it. Dinner came, and mother-in-law stood up and started by saying, quote, I know we are forbidden to make speeches by the bride, but this is my only son getting married, so I will say what I want to.
No, the fuck you won't.
I didn't hear the rest because I was seeing red. My sisters and bridesmaids were shocked. I pretended like she wasn't talking and continued my conversation with my girls.
Oh my God.
They did the same.
Oh my God.
Mother-in-law was furious. Both sister-in-laws were furious, and my husband was very angry that it showed in his profile. He refused to even look at me. The rest of the night was awkward.
The rest of your wedding night was awkward?
My husband's side was sulking in their seats. I wanted to make sure it wasn't ruined for the rest of us, and we ended up having a blast. Next day, I spent it with my family and friends. My husband said that I was very wrong in what I did. I couldn't force mother-in-law to shut the fuck up, and he knew she wouldn't no matter how much we told her. I shouldn't have disrespected and humiliated her like this. Our marriage started on the wrong foot, it seems. Am I the asshole?
Damn.
Remember, the theme is patience.
I know.
To have or not to have.
It's just hard because everyone would handle this so differently. What do you think?
I think this is one of those moments where everyone involved could have communicated better. Like the husband already knew my mom's not going to not make a speech. Tell your wife
You
that.
think so?
Yeah.
People go rogue.
Yeah.
People have one too many tequila shots.
I think that is true, but
And they're like, I'm one tequila shot away from breaking the rules. Like,
yeah, but OP says here, my husband said I was very wrong in what I did. He knew she wouldn't, no matter how much we told her. Like she was going to make the speech no matter what. He already knew that.
yeah.
So why not say, hey,
But maybe he did.
maybe, and the bride just didn't want to hear it.
Right. Or maybe she was just like, okay. You know,
Yeah.
we don't know.
We don't know, but
So we can't push blame on he did, at the end of the day, he didn't force her to make a speech.
Yeah. Well, and so there is like a little PS. Mother-in-law loves making speeches, sometimes 15 minutes long and not usually mean speeches, disguised as humor that often isn't appreciated at all by the speakee.
Wait, okay. And not usually.
I think they kind of have
usually?
some typos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually mean speeches
Okay.
disguised as humor.
Okay.
Also, like a 15-minute long speech.
That's a monologue.
That's a TED Talk.
That's a manifesto.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So I get not wanting any speeches, and she should have been respected. I don't know, because I think you do have times in your life where you can bite the bullet, have a little patience.
Okay. If it were me, I'd be annoyed, but I would be respectful.
I think knowing both of us, we would bite our tongues and sit there and listen.
For sure. Well, first off, I love speeches. So this would never be me. I would sit there and like be like, more speech, you know, like that's my favorite part of the wedding.
Yeah.
But if I didn't want speeches and this happened or whatever it was, speeches is the subject. It could be anything, right? They just do something that you specifically said you didn't want on your wedding day. I would be for sure annoyed, have a conversation later, but I would bite the tongue, smile and wave, look gracious and happy. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a day meant to be celebrated and happy. And okay, this person stepped out of bounds and it's really annoying. But what were her intentions? Were her intentions to be mean, or do you think she was genuinely just trying to give a nice little speech?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think everyone can see through stuff too. Like I went to a wedding recently and there were some not great speeches.
Mm-hmm.
You just sit there and enjoy your wine.
Yeah.
Like pick out a piece of cake. I don't know. Like it doesn't have to be like I'm zoned in and listening to every word. Like
no,
you can have get
drunk.
drunk.
Go to the bathroom. I did get one time there was a speech that was
really
easily 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And not good. Getting awkward. Getting political. Way off topic. Yeah. It was weird. And pretty sure I blacked out during the speech.
Sometimes you just
I literally just was like chugging my wine because I was like, oh my God, it needs to be over. It needs to be over. And it wasn't. And I just kept drinking. And I'm not kidding. That's like literally when I think of that wedding, like it's fuzzy after that speech.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
try that method.
Do what you want during the speech.
I mean, have a drink. Download Yahtzee or June's Journey on your phone.
Go to the bathroom. Reapply some lip liner. Go get a drink at the bar. Go fix your dress.
A little hard when you're the bride and you kind of have to look.
Oh, we're talking about from
in general.
You're right.
In general, she had more limited options.
Okay,
for
as
sure.
a bride, I don't know.
Play footsie with your partner next to you.
Yeah.
Give him a hand job under the table.
Start dreaming about your honeymoon but like look at the person giving the speech. I don't know. Like
you just gotta grin and bear it sometimes.
There are worse things in life. There are worse things in life to have to sit through.
Yeah. This is one where no patience and maybe she should have had some.
I just think like also, I mean, one thing that we shouldn't maybe ignore is that this is now your family and you are marrying into this family, and why start off on a negative tone? Like, you know, you're an adult. You know that ignoring and blatantly tuning out somebody's speech and having a sidebar conversation is disrespectful regardless of the context. It's just a mean thing to do. It's a petty thing to do. Why Why start off your marriage and your new family like that?
Well, and the husband was so mad at her.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even hang out with him the next day. She hung out with her family and friends.
And I think if I were in the husband's position, I think I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
If my mom did that, I would be like, listen, I'll talk to my mom because I agree. Your wishes were very clear and she did overstep.
Yeah.
But like, come on. Like that's my mom. It's now your mom. Like,
I think like the one thing he could have done is when he saw his mom go to get the mic, he could have gone over to her, stood by her, given her quick 1 minute. I'm so excited. And then, thanks, mom. Yanked the mic.
Yeah.
Like, there's something
Hindsight's
he could have done too.
Though.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, this does happen. I think about my brother's wedding. My grandma got so drunk, she gave an impromptu speech.
Was it good?
It was so good.
Oh, nice.
So good. I love her. She's like literally my favorite human.
That's amazing.
So, also, if you want to meet my grandma, she went on my dad's podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her on mine, but
cute.
She wasn't comfortable enough to come on mine yet.
Oh.
So I'm hoping the next time I'm home, I can get her on now that she's like gone on my dad's.
Yeah.
But she's such a little cutie.
That's awesome.
So check that episode out. I'll link it in the description on this episode, but it was so good. I just love her.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think the overall vote is on this one?
If she's the asshole?
Yeah.
You know, knowing Reddit, I feel like not the asshole.
You would be correct in that.
I just feel like I'm starting to get a sense for the people.
For the people.
For the people of Reddit.
The top comment is, well, that's unfortunate that the day you got married, you found out your husband's always going to pick his mom over you. Such disrespect from mother-in-law, not the asshole.
Yeah, again, like this is a personal thing. That's what I said. The first thing I said when I reacted was like, this is just hard because it's so personal. Some people see it as no big deal. Okay, there are worse things in life. And then some people are like, no, this is the tone of our marriage now. It's a preview into the battles I'm going to fight. I'm going to set my foot. Like, it's just.
Sometimes people need to learn consequences.
Yeah.
So a husband who agreed beforehand, no speeches, should have gone up and taken the mic and said, you know what, mom, we said no speeches. Please respect us. Consequence. Like sometimes we have to parent our parents.
Oh, totally.
Like that's just the reality a lot of us live in.
Totally.
So I think like that is a good point where he could have been more on her side and probably should have been.
Yeah.
OP responds to that and goes, I really hope not. He has always said his mom is stubborn, etc., and that she did what she wanted. For me, it is no problem as long as she is willing to take the consequences of her stubbornness. I didn't know it meant that the rest of us should lay flat.
Yeah, I get it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It would be really frustrating. And you'd be like, really? You couldn't have my back on our wedding day?
Mm-hmm. That is a good point.
Yeah.
I would, if this were me in this situation, I would be pissed at Justin for not having my back. But I would have also been more respectful. And that is just the thing. Like, am I going to bitch in private later? Yeah.
100%.
A little. But also at the same time, like, hey, she gave her speech and still didn't ruin your night. You said to yourself you had a fucking blast.
Yes.
So just pick your battles.
Agreed. Well said.
Pick your battles.
Mm-hmm.
Someone comments and it's got 11K upvotes, big red box. So it's got awards. People highlighted it.
Whoa.
Your husband showed you who he actually prioritizes and it isn't you. Expect this behavior to escalate. Kids? ? You know she's going to want to be in the room because, quote, it's her only son's baby and it's her right. She's going to demand naming rights and to move in to help. It's early enough to get annulled, divorce, whichever, just away from this family.
Whoa, okay.
If you rightfully decide you deserve someone better.
I don't know about all that.
I'm quick to jump to divorce and I don't know if it's that serious.
Yeah, I'm not there.
I'm not there. Shocking for a lot of you
We're
out there.
We're not there.
Wow.
Patience, baby.
Patience.
Look at us. Patient Pollies.
I've come so far since I started this episode.
Growth. We love it. What's it called? Character development.
All day, every day, baby. Always working to be better.
That's to me it's a little much.
That's a little goofy.
Reel it in a little bit. Like
this person. How did it get so many awards?
Yeah, whoa.
if you rightfully decide you deserve someone better.
Imagine, hey, why'd you guys split? Oh, so his mom gave an impromptu speech at our wedding and he didn't shut it down.
I think it's time for a serious conversation
For
about
sure.
enabling your mom.
But imagine I annul my wedding or annul my marriage and you're like, Ollie, really? Like,
yeah,
really?
it is interesting.
I mean, for some people, maybe that's, again, context is everything.
Yeah.
If this was like the 100th time it's happened.
Camel, straw, back.
Yes.
Snap.
But if like you're saying this is like what, it's few and far between that this happens.
Yeah. I wonder what the craziest reason someone has gotten an annulment for is.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok the other day. I fell down the rabbit hole on the cake cutting sword video. And I talked about it in an episode with Lauren a little bit ago. But this guy goes crazy and like he's cutting the cake with his bride and they both have their hands on the sword. And then all of a sudden he like starts hacking it and destroys the cake.
What?
Yeah. It's like the most.
He just like, what happened?
Destroys it.
For fun?
Yeah. I literally just put the video in the episode because I'm editing it right now so I can actually show you. And then just keeps hacking the cake.
Like, that's really weird.
And then like everyone in the room gets quiet and like.
Because they're all like,
what the fuck? Do you know how expensive a wedding cake is? Especially a 3-tiered buttercream like that?
Ooh.
Don't fuck around with the cakes. So I did see someone duet it and goes, my ex-husband did this. I got an annulment the next day.
You're lying.
Swear to God.
I mean, okay.
So.
Okay. I'm just putting myself in that position and I just like can't imagine. Like I can't imagine getting that far with someone for it to like crumble over that.
I think there's, because of this video and something I also saw, I've seen this concept of the shut up ring. And it's a proposal that comes from like nagging and being like, it's time to get married, shit or get off the pot, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so it's the shut up ring. And I think sometimes people will get these shut up rings, get married, and then be like, this was not fucking worth it.
Oh, for sure.
This wasn't worth it. And it is kind of like we said, it's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have been on the craziest side of TikTok lately.
Huh.
Shut up rings, cake cutting.
I kind of want to learn more about shut up rings. How do I get on? Send me some of those TikToks. Maybe I'll get on that side too.
Yeah, I shall.
Yeah, send me them.
Oh,
I'm
God.
curious now.
It's just a wild, wild thing. But moving along. So this next one is 25 days old. Lots of awards on it. It's coming from the username Vacation Slayer 238. It is titled, Am I the asshole for canceling vacation less than 24 hours in due to my kids' behavior?
It's giving, I'm going to turn this car around vibes.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh my God, my mom used to threaten that nonstop.
I will turn this car around.
My husband and I have 3 kids, 9 male, 8 male, and 3 female. The boys have been driving us crazy. They fight like cats and dogs. We've had countless talks with them about respecting each other to no avail. I understand sibling rivalry, but it's gotten to the point it's disruptive to all of us every day. I already told my husband last week I wasn't sure if the vacation was a good idea. My husband shut me down pretty much immediately, and things went ahead as planned. First of all, the 3.5-hour car ride was, predictably, hell. Boys fighting and riling each other up the whole time. Husband and I kept trying to reassure each other that things would be better once we got there, and they would be too excited to cause trouble. We were wrong. They had so many reminders of what not to do once we got to the rental house, so they do everything wrong from the get-go. Shoes on the white furniture? Check. Running in the house? Check. I turned my back for 2 seconds, and the 8-year-old threw a box of chalk in the pool to keep his brother from getting it. We went out to lunch, and they were out of control in the restaurant. 9 male ran away from us in a strange place because he didn't get his way. We finally go to the beach, and they are frankly being brats, refusing sunscreen, fighting over toys, pushing their luck repeatedly, going further and further out in the water than we told them to, cursing. By the time we got back to the house, it was around dinner time, and I was fed up. They were totally ruining it for everybody. Nothing had worked, and I told my husband we needed to go home. for the reasons mentioned above, mainly that they needed to see a real consequence. My husband still insisted it would get better. I put my foot down and told him that I didn't even want to be there at this point, so either I was leaving or we all were. He got super pissed and told me it was ridiculous and unfair to our daughter. I actually agree with him, but saw no other choice at this point. Of course, when I tell the kids, they immediately burst into tears and are begging to stay, promising they will behave. My mother, who came with us, was also near tears. She thinks her precious grandbabies do no wrong. She argued with me too, begging me to, quote, just let it go. But I refused to budge. So we left, less than 24 hours into a 4-day vacation. Half the ride home was spent with them sobbing, and my husband pretty much gave me the silent treatment the whole way. My mother decided to stay behind a little longer, but then started randomly texting me about 30 minutes in, asking if I was serious. She knew I was, and told me the whole reason she came was to spend time with the kids, so I had now, quote, ruined it for everybody. And they're only little once. Here we are the following evening, and pretty much no one likes me right now except my 3-year-old. Are they right? Am I the asshole?
Ooh. My gut is to say no, not the asshole. This one's hot and it's going to be controversial because I don't know. I always get really nervous to weigh out on like parenting stories because obviously I'm not a parent. So it's like hard to speak from that position. But like I hear stories like this and I personally wouldn't stand for that type of behavior.
Hell no, these are kids from hell.
Exactly. And I know it's like, oh, well, you say that now and then you have your kids. Okay, got it. But from where I sit, like I just wouldn't deal with that. I would turn that car around for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't care what guilt trip comes with it. My mom, if she's like, I came here to spend time with my kids, get in the car, mom, let's go. You can spend time with them, 4-hour drive back. Like come home, spend time with them at home. But they have not earned this vacation. Like this behavior, that's not how life works. And I feel like your job as a parent, again, in my opinion, is to raise kids that are going to be good adults. And they're going to
100%.
be respectful little adults, right?
Yeah.
And so this is to enable that behavior and just let it go, in my opinion, again, is like doing them a disservice in the long run. And you're kind of just enabling this bad behavior and this bratty, entitled, selfish, misbehaved. That's really terrible. I mean, like that sounds miserable. That nothing about that sounds like a vacation for the parents.
No.
That's not a way that you shouldn't put yourself through that.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
No. I just have so much, like you made such amazing points. And I think they're the way they are because they've been enabled so much.
Yeah.
And so now is the time. Like they're still young. They're 9 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
They're still very impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
This is your last shot to start instilling some respect and some discipline in them, because once they get to like 12 years old, there's no more parenting. It becomes different. Yes, it's parenting per se, but I've seen a lot on it where there's a difference between being a parent and super like restrictive or being more of a parent that's a guide, where your kids from 12 to 18, that's their time to learn and learn from their mistakes. Not so much the parenting and you're going to do this and not
like
that.
The formative years.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is 100% reasonable. I think this is the most amazing decision.
Yeah.
What I find so funny about this is everyone saying, you're ruining this for us.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
She gave everyone involved a choice.
Yeah.
You can stay. I cannot be here anymore.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
That dad didn't want to parent by himself for a weekend.
Yeah. Why didn't he take her up on that?
Oh, grandma, you want to spend time with them? Great. Have
You
them all to
too.
yourself.
You too. Go at it.
Go at it.
Yeah.
So funny that they're blaming her when really they're the ones that couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen.
Right.
They said, you're right. Here's my scapegoat. I'm going to let you, ruin everything. But like they had a choice and they could have stuck around and hung out. She could have taken the 3-year-old and had her own little vacation with the 3-year-old.
Agreed.
Then it's fair for the daughter. Oh, this is so unfair for our daughter.
Yeah.
She's 3.
She's 3.
She's going to have a good time anywhere.
Also, it's like you're a family. Families win together, families lose together. I think it's a good lesson to teach the 3-year-old too. Like, hey, we're in this together. You know, like if everyone's not going to get it together, it's kind of like if we can't all agree, no one gets the toy. So learn to compromise. And same with the boys. The boys need to be held accountable too. They're older. I just, when you're telling the story, I hate to sound judgmental, but I just can't help but wonder, like, how does that happen? Like, genuinely, that's a question. I'm not even like trying to pass judgment. It's how does that happen? Like, are your kids just sometimes have this behavior that you just cannot control? Or is this the result of a parenting style? Is it that you've let them get away with things, that you let it go long enough to where now they've developed habits and entitlement? I genuinely don't know the answer to this, because I hear these stories and I'm like, how did this little being control you? How did this happen?
I think especially I wonder that same thing because I grew up with such a disciplinary mom.
Same.
Like, I got soap in my mouth.
Same.
I got a wooden spoon on my ass.
Slapped.
Like, your mom's Latina.
Literally.
So it's like, my mom might as well have been Latina because she had the same energy. Like, oh, you're going to get the chancla. Like, it was that energy.
And so did not stand a chance.
No. And so you didn't step out of line. And
no.
I know now, like, there's a lot of research that says, like, there's better methods of parenting.
For sure.
Like, authoritative parenting is better, which is gentle, but, like, actually, it's good. So I get that it's different, but, like, I do wonder, how does it get like this? And are they just 9 and 8-year-old boys? And that this is just how boys are at this age?
Yeah.
I would love for, like, parenting experts or, like, child psychologist to like chime in.
Please.
I would love that.
Because it's an open-ended question. I genuinely have always wondered, when I see it, when I witness it, when I hear about it, I'm like, how did that happen?
Oh.
Is that your parenting style? Are they hardwired a certain way? Like, again, it's hard for me to understand because there was no room for that behavior.
No.
Like, my mom had me so tight. She could shoot me a look if we were in public. It was a look. And I knew I was about to get my ass beat if I tried anything. And it was enough. The look was enough for me to like button up.
Yeah.
And like, of course there's better methods. She regrets some of it, but like, I just can't imagine being that defiant. My mom would cut that so quickly.
Well, and on the flip side, how do you manage kids like this to make things a teaching moment?
Yeah.
I look at this situation and I think, not the asshole. This is an amazing teaching moment for the boys. For the daughter as well. Kids learn from modeled behavior. The daughter just got to see these consequences play out.
Yes.
Act bad, no vacation.
Yes.
So she's learning as well. Learning experience for everyone.
Totally.
And if this isn't the way, then what is?
What is?
Or what are the alternatives?
I'd love to hear, like you said, from like a parenting psychologist expert, what was the right way? Like, I know it's subjective, but I just genuinely don't know. It's hard. I'm not a parent. I don't know. If it were me believing what I believe in my philosophies and the way that I was raised, I would have done exactly what she did.
Yeah.
Exactly what she did. You are the mother of this family. You have raised these children. And it is, if you decide that you want to cut a vacation so you can teach them a lesson and help guide them, and okay, are the kids paying for the vacation? No. Like, I'm disappointed in the husband for not having her back a little bit more, to be honest, and being a little bit more like a fourth child, pretty much.
Well, and that's the point too, with him not staying.
And then giving her the silent treatment. He should have supported her. Also, what lesson are you teaching your children now? You're not a united front. Just suck it up. You can go, when you get home behind closed doors, be like, I'm really bummed. I really wish we could have worked out a way to stay.
Babe, you had the option to stay.
But in front of the kids, you support her decision. Mom has spoken. We're getting in the car. We're going home.
Yeah.
And I'm going to support this decision.
Absolutely.
And then later be like, why'd we do that? Like, you know? But like, you're showing your kids, like, mom and like, even dad's on our side. And now you're making mom to be the enemy.
Yeah. Well, and I do wonder, if mom would have left, how would these kids have acted? How would the trip have gone with dad and grandma? I wish that would have been the outcome here.
I honestly don't know if I do wish for that, because I genuinely think that could have been so destructive. It's like not even safe.
Maybe. I mean, them going out into the water.
Right. There's a pool.
I think it was the beach, which is like, there's rip currents.
They threw it in the chalk in the pool.
The chalk was in the pool, but then I think they went to the beach as well. And so it's like, we went to the beach and they were going further and further out in the water. There are riptides out there. Those kids would be gone so fast. Like, that's not to fuck around.
Yeah.
So yeah, like to your point, it could have been dangerous,
bad.
but it's dad's turn to parent.
True. Maybe dad would have learned.
Dad's gonna fuck around and find out. Sometimes, and I don't want the kids to get injured, but like, I don't know, like go put a disguise on, like Kim Kardashian in the bush looking at north. Like, I don't know what, but like she shouldn't have to do that.
No.
But again, it's just like, I wish that in a lot of these stories that like the dads would just like buck up, like find out.
Yeah.
You want to stay and you're going to blame me and give me the silent treatment. I'm not making this decision. I gave you a choice. You were a participant in this.
Yeah. It's almost like they forced her hand. Like
they did.
She didn't want to. She didn't just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and say, I've decided we're going to cut this short because I feel like being mean.
Yeah.
They're out of control. That's not a vacation for anybody.
No. The top comment on this is snorts a line of birth control.
I'm sorry, but like, I was like, wow. I was just recently being like, maybe I'm stepping into my motherhood era. Wrong. I hear stories like this and I'm like, it's just so hard. Like, make me want kids because it's not, these stories ain't it.
The next comment down is hijacking the top comment to say, Mama, you should take your little one out for a girls' night out and let dad and grandma deal with the boys or offer separate trips. Sucks, I know, but we're trying to teach a valuable lesson here, LOL. Betcha they'll be talking about implementing discipline by the time you get back. Edit to add, holy balls, I go to bed, wake up, and have almost 6K likes. And my first award, Reddit never ceases to amaze me. They now have 23K upvotes.
Wow.
There are no comments from OP. I don't know if we have any child psychologists that have chimed in. I'm going to give a quick search and see.
Yeah, I am curious. I don't know. Whenever I see these situations, I'm like, I don't know what you do.
Well, there is a comment that says, absolutely, we would have backed the truck up and gone home if this is how they behave too. My dad always would say to us, you can do anything you want. You just have to deal with the consequences.
That's right. That's the way the world works.
My dad has this famous little saying he loves called the oh well clause. If you don't listen, oh well, you're going to have to deal with the consequences, the oh well clause. Mm-hmm. And this is a case of the oh well clause.
Yeah. Not to sound silly, but it really is like a fuck around and find out. It's kind of like, you have free will. You can do what you want, but it doesn't mean you're going to get what you want.
I don't see anyone chiming in saying they're a child psychologist or anything like that. So I don't think we have anyone yet. So if we have any listeners that could provide some insight,
or
that
even
would be
just a
amazing.
mom who's been in a situation like this, you've had to make this decision.
Well, and all kids have meltdowns, right? All kids are going to have chaotic, crazy, bad days. Mm-hmm. But like, this is their life.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a bad day of kids not listening because they're overstimulated, overwhelmed, tired, hungry, whatever. This is repetitive bad behavior.
Well, these kids are straight up, based on what they're sharing, these kids are straight up not taking you seriously.
Yeah.
They have no fear of consequence. They have no fear of punishment. They don't see you as an authoritative figure. They don't respect you.
Nope.
So I don't know if this is years and years of parenting and she just is like, enough is enough. Or I don't know I don't know.
Yeah, I will say I went on like a little weekend vacation with Justin's mom's side, and she has 4 stepchildren who are ages like 16 and 3 triplet boys who are all 15.
They're triplet boys? I thought it was 2 boys, 1 girl.
No, 1 girl, 3 boys.
So the 3 boys are triplets and then a girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they all it's so crazy because they all have their own each very different personalities.
Yeah.
And even hanging out with them, you do see that they are a little antagonistic of each other. Like, one of them had a pair of goggles in the pool and the other wanted it. Uh-huh. And the other one wasn't ready to give them up yet. So the one that wanted it literally broke them.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's kind of the same thing of throwing the box of chalk in the pool. It's sometimes these kids are going to just be little shitheads.
Right.
But okay, how do you work on, no, we're going to share with your brother. You take half the chalk. He takes half the chalk. And there was nothing she could have done in that moment. She turned around and he did it.
Yeah.
But it goes back to those basic core principles of teaching a child to share, to cooperate, patience.
Patience, but also like
Patience.
teaching them deterrence, right? Like you want to instill a sense of responsibility in them to where the child is going to think twice. If I throw this box of chalk in the pool, mom is going to be upset and she's going to take something away
Yeah.
and no one's going to win. It's like, I don't want to say instill fear in them,
No.
but a little bit of like deterrence. Like,
Yes.
okay, that's not a good idea because it's going to end badly for me. And so
Yeah.
he's doing that because he's thinking nothing's going to happen.
Well, and something I just heard recently, and it was like a teacher talking about how teaching over the past decade has like changed drastically for her. And she's like, I can tell the kids that get iPads at home and the kids that don't get iPads at home. The kids that get iPads are terrorists, like to put it concisely.
Yeah.
And the kids that don't get iPads at home have better social skills, are more patient, are better behaved, all of these things. And essentially she was saying like, we need to teach our kids it's okay to be bored.
Yeah. That is so true. I think we need to teach adults that.
It is okay to be bored.
Yeah. I think everyone can learn that lesson. It's okay to be bored.
Yeah.
But definitely kids because it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Also, something I just thought of in my head, I know like obviously take everything we're saying with a grain of salt because we aren't parents.
Right.
But like I could be a parent tomorrow. And I would be starting with the knowledge base I have now.
Right.
You only know what you know and you learn by finding out.
Yes. I live and breathe by that. You only know what you know and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
The other day I found out that you can't give newborns water.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone was like, yeah, obviously. And I'm like, what do you mean obviously? Like where's that seminar that like teaches you that guess what? You can't feed your newborns water. Like I'm not pregnant.
Do they tell you this stuff before you leave the hospital? Because
Correct.
I
Maybe
saw,
they do.
I don't think they do because I literally saw a video from someone that was like, oh, okay, so I can just take this thing home? Like,
well, yeah.
where are the instructions?
Right. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I can't speak to that. Haven't been there yet. But like from where I sit, back to the you only know what you know, how would I know that? I haven't had one. You know what I mean? So
It's some
like,
Wild West shit when you have a baby.
right. And then I'm sure you learn as you go. It's like anything else. Like, well, you didn't know this about horses? No. But then you start to ride horses and you learn, right? It's like any other thing in life. But with children, it's like it happens so fast. Like you said, I could get pregnant tomorrow, become a mother in whatever, 9 months, 10 months, pop a baby out. I can choose to read books or not. I can choose to ask for advice or not. A lot of that is self-taught. There's no like government mandate that you have to learn. And then all of a sudden you have birth in the hospital. Again, I don't know. Do they give you a little pamphlet? Do they give you a little rundown? Probably not. And then you go home and you're just
We got a lot of people that have had kids that listen.
Free-balling, like
tell us how it goes. Do you get a tutorial? Did they show you how to change a diaper in the hospital? How does it go? Please let us know.
Yeah.
We need so many responses on this story.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
And we are opening the door for that because we are the first ones to admit that we are not parents. So this is a tough one. Like,
yeah. Oh man, it's going to be a while. My neighbor though, he came over to look at my house and cuz we're like starting a demo and he's like, "Is this going to be a little nursery soon?" And I'm like not anytime soon.
You
dude.
can't say that shit in 2023, man. We stopped doing that. Remember, what's her face? Vanessa Lachey.
Yeah.
Torn apart. You can't just start asking people when they're going to start having kids. Not everyone wants kids. Not everyone can have kids. So
keep it to yourself.
Let's not do that.
Okay, moving along. Okay, so for this next one, it was posted 5 days ago in AITAH. Am I the asshole, basically? It is titled, "Am I the asshole for showing up to guys' night after my husband didn't come home when he said he would?" My husband has been hanging out with his guy friends every weekend for about a month. It generally doesn't bother me at all, but lately he has been saying, quote, "I will be home after this beer." And that one beer turns into 6, and him coming home in an Uber around 3 to 4 a.m. And well, I want to hang out with my husband. There's never any ill blood or fighting about it. I know he needs his friends as we are currently going through a stressful time and he needs to decompress. However, when he went out on Saturday, I told him, quote, "If you aren't home by 8, I'm coming to find your ass." He laughed, said he would be home by 8, and that was it. Well, by 9, he still wasn't home. I knew this was going to happen, so I planned it all out. I'd already gone to the store and picked up a 30 rack, and this is actually kind of embarrassing, but I threw on some of his clothes, put my hair up, and put a hat on to make myself look more manly, and headed over to his buddy's house, where I knew he was. When I walked through the door, my husband starts dying laughing and bear hugs me. His buddies, I'm close to 3 of them, were also heavily amused and thanked me for the beer. There was no issue there. However, one of the guys that I don't know all that well lives next door, and his wife came over livid at like 2 a.m. and starts scolding him about being out so late, etc., etc. They have a baby at home, so it's 100% understandable. As soon as she saw me standing there, shit hit the fan even more. She started accusing him of lying about it, being guys' night. I did interject and say that I actually invited myself after my own husband didn't come home when he said, but she just put her hand up to me and told her husband to get home. I thought that would be the end of it, but my husband actually got a text from this guy yesterday saying that me showing up caused serious issues in his marriage and that next time he should tell me to, quote, stay the fuck home. My husband obviously laughed it off and said it isn't my fault there's issues in their marriage and that he was amused by me showing up. But now I feel utterly terrible. Am I the asshole?
No, I don't think so.
Bro.
No, like that is a personal issue between them and their marriage. This clearly isn't the first time something like this has happened. I mean, I wouldn't think you would have that reaction.
No, it sounds like this is kind of an issue. It sounds like this is kind of an issue for all these guys. Like they're all hanging out together every weekend, not going home when they say they're going home. Yeah. So it sounds like a group issue. And this guy that's got the new baby is 100% in the wrong.
Yeah.
I think they all are, especially like OP's husband.
Yeah.
I feel like this, I take 2 ways. It's super funny. She showed up dressed like a guy, case of beer, like joining boys' night.
Boys' night.
Yeah. Like that's super fun. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, he said he was going to be home by 8 and he wasn't. And there seems to be a little disrespect.
Yeah.
Or he was like trying your ass. Like he was pushing your limits to see what he could get away with or like if you'd hold true to your word and show up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have mixed feelings a little bit.
But that's not really the issue. The question is if she's like an asshole for showing the fight in the other marriage, right? No? No, like, that's what she feels bad about. Yeah. So in my opinion, I mean, I agree. And I've had a boyfriend who was like that. And it's just so annoying because it's like, are you just testing the limits? But I guess the good news is that at least he's telling the truth. Like he's not, you hear of these like affairs, whether you see him in shows or movies or you even hear about it in real life where they say they're staying out with the boys. They come home 2-3 hours later than they said they were going to. Lo and behold, they're not at boys' night. Boys' night is actually
some other girl
taking a girl home to a hotel, whatever they're doing.
Oh my God.
What?
I just saw a TikTok about this guy who texted his girlfriend like, oh, I'm going to Taylor Swift with the boys. No, he took another girl. And she's like, we've been dating for 3 years.
Don't bring Taylor Swift into this.
I would just discombobulate his shit. I would go nuts. I've decided I'm going.
The fact that he took her to Taylor Swift, like he didn't just take her to.
It wasn't a Drake concert.
Wally's. Well, I mean, Drake. Come on, Drake still too. But like taking her to dinner would be bad enough. But he took her to a Taylor Swift concert.
Taylor Swift.
That's so disrespectful.
That's probably the biggest.
That's insult to injury.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
But I think this happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Guys'
night. It's an easy cop out. You're like, good, go have fun, whatever. So I guess at least your man is like acting correctly and he's with his guys. I think it's kind of cute that maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I've been out of a relationship for too long, but I think it's kind of cute that they're having so much fun that they're just like, it's disrespectful, especially with the guy who's a dad to a baby. Disrespectful. I don't care how much fun you're having. Time to go home.
Be a partner.
Be a dad. Be an adult. Grow up. Go home, honey. Like whatever. Yes. But to answer this, I guess to stay on track, I don't think she's an asshole. There's clearly vulnerabilities between that other couple's marriage And this was maybe like the straw that broke the camel's back. Clearly, she was livid. And that's an issue they need to work out. She didn't do anything wrong. I mean, she showed up to boys' night uninvited, but it was a joke. It was in jest. She knows a lot of his friends. They can all attest to the fact that she came up uninvited. The guy didn't lie about girls being there. It's like, if she doesn't want to hear it, the way she stuck her hand out, that's on her.
Yeah, that was a little rude on her part. I also think the minute that other wife showed up, he probably could have called her and been like, hey, babe, if you want to, bring the baby over and have a beer, come on over.
True.
They're neighbors. She lives right next door. It's a walk away.
Guys don't think like that.
Why don't they?
Guys don't.
Why?
I don't know. Guys don't. I'm sorry, guys, but they don't think like that.
Okay, this is something I constantly talk to Justin about, and he gets a little peeved. I think it might be one of the icks I give him.
Really? Let's hear it.
But I always say, when we're people watching or if he does something, I always say, that's the difference between girl brain, boy brain.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the beach the other night watching the meteor shower, and a couple was walking by where our chairs are set, kind of back, like in a decent spot. You have two choices: walk directly in front of us where we're staring, looking for the stars, or walk behind us. It's the same distance.
Yeah.
The girl decided to walk behind us. The guy didn't give a fuck if he interrupted our view. And I literally turned to him, I go, that's an example. Girl brain, boy brain.
Yeah.
And that does happen. Or like, guys will have plans with their friends and their friends are bringing a girlfriend. And then you're like, oh, well, what are you doing tonight? And he's like, oh, well, drinks at 6. You're highly encouraged to come. And I go, it's 5:30.
Literally.
What?
Guys don't think like that. Sorry. I know that's going to hurt some feelings.
But hey, we have a lot of people that listen with their partners. So I think it's just like, now that you're aware, like a lot of times you're not aware until you're aware. So think about this, guys. Like, a little consideration goes a long way.
They just, I don't know. That doesn't surprise me at all. Like, at all, that in that moment he didn't think to call his wife or his, at all. I'd be more surprised if he did. Like, when men do those things, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so thoughtful. And it's like, you're just like doing the bare minimum.
The bare minimum.
I know.
So there isn't like an overall vote on this one. A lot of the comments I'm seeing, though, are not the asshole. The top comment is, it seems that your actions were deemed highly amusing by everybody, including your husband, except that one guy and his wife. Your presence there had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Dumbass's marital status. That's all on him. He just lashed out at you because he got caught and is probably scared of his wife.
Yeah.
Not the asshole. And maybe you should dress up again and join hubby for the next boys' night.
I love that move. I think it's hilarious. However, I do think she needs to have a conversation with him. Because even though it was made into a joke, like, the principle is that he specifically said he was going to be home by 8 p.m.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And he wasn't. So like, we can laugh it off, but at the same time, you're kind of downplaying it and making it into a joke, which was the point. But at the same time, does it bother you or does it not? Because you need to be clear on where you're standing.
Yeah. Like, this is funny the one time, but if this continues to happen again and again and again, it's not cute and funny. It's disrespectful.
Oh, totally. I remember one time my boyfriend came home at 4 a.m. He said he's going to be home at like 10.
What? How does that happen?
Exactly. I was livid. And the audacity this man had to be like, what's the big deal? And I was like, you're out of your mind. Like, you're actually out of your mind.
Where were you for those 6 hours?
Literally. At the party. Okay. Sounds
cool.
good. On like a Tuesday. I'm like, really?
Nothing is open in LA until 4 a.m.
I think it was like a house party.
Of course it was. How convenient for us.
I know.
So convenient.
I know.
Oh my God. But yeah, I completely agree. The other comment under that is, I bet that one guy was cool with it until his wife showed up. And I get that. Like, everyone needs space away from their partners.
Yeah.
So her showing up the one time, I don't think I would show up every time.
No.
And decompress, hang out with your friends. But okay, this is 4 weekends in a row. And then you say you're coming home, but you're not. And it's getting annoying.
Grow up.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along.
Yes.
Okay, so this next one is 2 months old, coming from Am I the Asshole? It is titled, Am I the Asshole for Jumping Off a Train Before the Doors Closed and Abandoning My Pregnant Wife?
Oh, What?
I know the title sounds crazy. I'll try to explain this as best I can. I'm 29 and my wife is 25. She's also 5 months pregnant. Recently, we decided to go on holiday together. Nothing fancy, just to the coast, which meant we had to get a train. We had maybe 3 rolling suitcases and one of those army-style backpacks. There was no issue as we boarded the train, and we sat down and put the luggage next to us. About 20 minutes into our journey, we heard an announcement over the speakers that the train was being diverted, which meant it wasn't going to stop at the station we needed anymore. As it was saying this, the train was coming to a stop at the next station. I panicked and told my wife we had to get off or we weren't going to be able to get to where we needed. I got up and started grabbing our things and rushed off the train. I couldn't believe it when I looked around and saw she hadn't gotten off. She was trying to grab our 3rd suitcase. I had the other 2 and the backpack.
Oof.
Unfortunately, it was too late, and even as I rushed to the doors, they closed. My wife looked like she wanted to kill me, and the train pulled away with her on it. Can't you just envision her face standing there?
Yes.
Like this is a movie.
Yes. I can picture it.
I called her to tell her to get off at the next stop and I'd get the next one and meet her. But she was absolutely irate and told me the holiday was canceled and she was going home. To top it off, she told her family and mine, and they're all furious at me for abandoning a pregnant woman on a train, headed to God knows where, with a heavy suitcase. My father-in-law told me I was an idiot for what I'd done. I feel like I was in the right, but my wife and family have other ideas. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Unless I'm missing something, this was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he forget the 3rd suitcase? Did he assume she was gonna get it? That's the gray area for me. But because she's pregnant, but there's only so many suitcases one can grab at a time. So I don't know what their understanding was. Like, was she responsible for that 3rd suitcase? Was that her her thing? Did he genuinely forget about it and she saw it? And, that's where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, this seems like an honest mistake. I know he probably should have made sure she got off first. That's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
In my mind,
5 months pregnant.
He should have made sure she got off first.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was kind of acting under pressure and kind of just fucked up. Did he do the right thing? No, but he kind of fucked up.
I guess I'm just curious how he got so far away from the train before he realized she wasn't there.
What do you mean how far away he got?
Well, everyone handles things differently, but if this were me and I was with a partner that was a little slower, whether it be pregnant, crutches, whatever, I wouldn't get so far away from them.
But how far did he get?
I mean, he was so far that he saw by the time he got wherever the fuck he went, he turned around, saw she was still trying to get up with the suitcase, and he ran back to try to put his hand in the door. And he didn't have enough time.
I'm picturing just him getting off the train
and turning around right away. No, I think he zoomed further than the door.
Why?
That's what I would like to know. If this were me and I was traveling with someone, like I said, that was needed a little more time, I would get to the door and whether it's my suitcase or my body, lean up against the door or block the door so it doesn't shut. Those train doors don't shut if something's in the way. And the train, it might be trying to leave, but it's not going to leave until all of its doors are shut.
They won't shut if someone's in the front of them? I feel like they do.
No.
Aren't they
if you have your arm in there, it's not going to fully close and just zoom away with your arm in it.
Open back up?
Yeah.
Like an elevator door?
Hits. Yeah. It hits and opens.
Okay.
So it's you have a little block the door and give her some time.
We're envisioning different things.
Yeah. And we don't know.
And I don't know how we know which one happened, but I pictured, because I'm picturing, I was just in Europe, the train, you get off and again, we don't know how much time this really was, but I'm picturing he just got all of his shit off, was on the landing and turned around and she was scrambling and he was probably come on. And then by the time she got to the door, it closed. So I wasn't picturing him running off 10 feet or 100 feet and then being oh, where are you?
Yeah.
In my mind, I saw him getting off the train on the landing.
Directly turning around?
Pretty much. Like maybe getting like a little further away just so he's not like right there, and then just turning around and being like, oh, come on. And then like the door closes.
Post the footage.
We want the footage.
I want the CCTV footage.
Run the tapes. I don't know. Again, like maybe we're getting into the lost in the sauce here, but
probably.
Like, I guess my overall take is that it just seems like a stupid mistake. It seems like a stupid move.
Yeah, I honestly had to Google 5 months pregnant woman just to see like the symptoms and like signs, because I'm like, how big is 5 months?
Yeah.
Because like I think even like early pregnancies, you have less energy, you move a little slower, you're tired, moody, whatever.
Yeah.
5 months pregnant, lower back pain, swollen feet, practice contractions, restless nights, pregnancy brain, moodiness. And then I was like, okay, well, what does it look like though? Like how big's the bump?
But everyone's different.
Everyone is so different.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend that didn't find out she was pregnant until 6 months.
Exactly.
She didn't have a bump.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the pictures have a decent bump.
But this to me is like a little bit of a moot point. Like my cousin that I was just with is 6 months pregnant, and she was rolling her own suitcase on vacation just now.
Yeah, no, and I'm not
So
saying
it's
they
not
can't.
like she's incapable.
No.
And it depends, right? Like everyone's symptoms are gonna be different. Maybe someone at 6 months is like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna drag a suitcase.
That baby's pretty big at 5 months.
Yeah, I mean it's
What
not
the
it's not
fuck?
big, but that's not the question here. Like we don't know. Like maybe she was one of those really capable pregnant women that
I
like
was just trying to research
know.
for more context.
yeah. I mean,
I like
because I
having-
was just with someone traveling who was 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, you saw
I
it
have
firsthand.
a really good picture of what like this probably kind of looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I saw her and like she was fine. Like she was rolling her suitcase. Like she was good. Again, everyone's different.
Oh my
Maybe,
God.
You know?
So different. My friend Allie is pregnant with her second baby, and she's had crazy shit this time around where her placenta kind of detached a little bit and she was bleeding. And so she's like not allowed to pick up her toddler. And it's like, how do you avoid picking up a toddler?
Yeah.
It's so hard, but it's like she's still tiny, but having like those crazy symptoms, it's just like, oh,
yeah.
it's so nuts. But top comment on this one, you're the asshole.
Not surprised.
Why panic over something so little? You could have just stayed on the train and discussed with your wife what you guys were going to do. You sound like one of those people that would reverse on the highway because you took the wrong exit instead of just taking the safer but longer way around.
Has anyone done that?
I have seen it.
You've seen people reverse on the highway?
I have seen it so many times.
In Los Angeles.
All the time.
Reverse.
Yep.
Like they're on the 405 and they reverse.
Not the 405, the 101, 100%. Especially if there's lanes. What's the
That's
one?
like a death
the
sentence.
10. The 10 is one too, where there's lanes on the 10 that are sometimes passed through. So it'll say exit. And then even if you're not exiting on that exit, you can still drive through and get back on the highway. Or there's lanes that will say exit only.
Okay.
Very distinct difference.
Okay.
California highways all suck ass. And so I've seen people literally that like accidentally go on the exit only and go on the shoulder and reverse until they get enough to cut across.
I've never seen such a thing.
Oh, and I've seen someone like last minute, like they're in the lane and then they go, zoop,
I've seen that.
and then almost hit the little water cans.
Yeah, I've seen that many, many times.
Just miss it.
That I've seen like, whoop, but
just
like,
miss it.
Yeah, just
it's not going to kill you.
The reverse, that is like as a death sentence.
Why would you do
I
that?
don't know. That is crazy. These freeways in California are violent and like
they're so dangerous out here.
You take the L. You have to take the L.
Like it's 5 more minutes.
It
could be no time change.
I've missed an exit in LA. It literally added 18 minutes.
Totally depends.
But
like, it's not worth risking your life.
No, never. I always have to remind myself. And what? Okay, I'm 20 minutes late. That sucks. Better than the alternative, like
dead,
right? Or like injured or whatever, or hurt someone else. I completely agree. You have to remind yourself, like, what's the price of this weird move? But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's like a freaking hero. I do think like he's an idiot for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's like, okay, like, wow, you're the worst. You're a terrible husband, terrible father.
I don't think, no. I just, in this situation, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
The comment after that one is, if it was as easy for OP's wife to get off at the next stop and take another train to meet him again, then they could have both done this and stayed together.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, he said he would take the next train to meet her. He still is an ass with anxiety disorder. I wouldn't go so far to say that. I think he just
Well, that's even more. I mean, I am actually holding a little bit more empathy then if we think he has an anxiety disorder.
No, and I don't.
Yeah.
We have no idea. I think
Yeah.
that person's going a little far to diagnose him
Yeah.
in this one circumstance. I think he just is a bad traveler.
Yeah, maybe.
And there's a lot of those people out there.
Yeah, some people just, yeah.
He's giving airport dad energy where they need to show up to a flight 4 hours early.
Not even that, because that's just like, that doesn't really hurt anybody. He's giving, you're in seat number like 27 and you're getting up and trying to like rush off the plane and like, sir, there's an order to deplaning. Please, there's an etiquette.
Why do people stand up right away
I don't know.
at the back of the plane?
I don't know. It's like, you're not going to make this move any faster. Like there's 26 rows before you that need to grab their luggage and get off.
I have seen so many people from like the last row try to get up and run up the aisle as fast as they can.
I just tried to do that recently.
Did you have
I had to pee. I was panicking.
Oh.
I was panicking. I literally almost said to everybody, I'm so sorry. I need to get off this plane right now.
Why didn't you go in the plane bathroom?
Because I think I was like in the middle to where it was like to get to a plane. I think I was like row 14 or something where I'm like,
oh yeah.
You know, I'm like
Worst
at this
spot.
point, I just need to get the frick off the plane.
Yeah.
And I almost like, I tried and I was going to be like, you guys, I'm really sorry. Just forgive me. I
Yeah.
gotta put me first.
Dude, I literally had to be a flight attendant again recently
Oh,
on a flight. It was
that sucks.
so brutal. We were, oh God, where were we going from? I think we were traveling from New York, LaGuardia to MSP. And it was, I think it was a Delta flight because I've been flying a lot of Delta lately. But essentially, like the flight was delayed leaving LaGuardia, and over half the plane had transfers. So they needed to like race to another flight. A lot of these people only had 40 minutes. And so I told the lady next to me, I was like, oh, well, like you should ask the flight attendant when she, you know, is taking your trash on approach check, just say, hey, I have a connecting flight. Is there any way you could make an announcement to let those with connecting flights off first?
Yeah.
The flight attendant literally told her, no, we don't do that.
Wow.
It's a lie.
Wow.
It's so fucking easy to do.
Huh.
And then they get towards the end, and sure enough, they do finally make an announcement because I think, again, over half the flight had transfers. Like more people were asking.
Yeah.
We park. Literally everyone starts trying to get off, and the flight attendant's standing there, and there's a guy yelling in the back. He's like, hey, I have a transfer. Like, can you guys sit back down? Like, I have to go. Flight attendant's sitting there just watching him and literally doing nothing. Everyone starts making their way off. And then the rest of the plane at the back is like standing there like deer in headlights. No one's moving. So I literally peer over and I'm like, hey, anyone else back there have connecting flights?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The flight attendant's literally like,
oh
and
my gosh.
everyone around me was like, thank you. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't like overstepping because there was literally no one to overstep.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, thank you. And I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
But hey, there's a lot of crazy shit happening on planes.
There is.
Flight attendants are tired.
Yeah.
COVID made people fucking crazy on planes. So I get it.
Yeah.
You see that lady try to saran wrap her seats?
I don't know if I did.
Again, I need to get off.
Do you see that on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Go find
I'm
it.
on there too much. This lady paid for 3 seats, brought a roll of saran wrap, and
Recently?
saran wrapped her whole like cocoon.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane.
Honestly, nothing. I think about this every time because I just flew back from Mexico last week. Every time I travel, nothing, and I mean nothing in this world, this is a stupid thing to say, motivates me more to be a freaking millionaire than traveling. That is, I don't know why. Like, I'm just like I'm an ordinary person with ordinary simple wants and needs. But when I travel, I'm like, I just hate it. I hate everything about it. Waiting in lines, getting stuck on planes, being told I can't pee because we're taxiing, like checking my luggage, having to have it, like all of it. It's just like commercial flight. I hate it. Nothing motivates me more. Like,
That is the one area where I will always have patience.
Yeah.
I love traveling.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a 4-hour delay coming back from Iceland. I'm stuck in Boston for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I love traveling, for the record.
Yeah.
I just don't like inefficiencies.
That's
where I get killed.
And that is traveling. Every flight I've
Yeah.
had lately has had delays. I'm like, it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm chilling. I'm going to go grab a cookie. And
But if you've got places to be and things to do,
100%, it's
really
frustrating.
stressful. Yeah.
But I just have this mentality of like, there's nothing I can do about
There's
this.
nothing you can do.
I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I'll get there.
True.
If it's meant to be, I'll get there.
No, it's true. There's nothing you can do. And I've adopted that mentality too. I just like, I see now why certain people take their travel so seriously.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
never understood the people who, like, I've never paid for like an expensive seat or anything. Like, I've never done that.
Yeah.
And I never understood it. I'm like, we're all going to the same place. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but now I kind of am like, okay, I see these efficiencies and I know that it's a privilege. I know that it's not cheap. Travel these days is not cheap.
Yeah.
On top of that, trying to travel in a way that's more efficient, it costs you money. Oh, pay for priority boarding, pay for, you know, first class or business
They
or whatever.
nickel and dime you every chance.
Yeah, pay to select your seat so you can get the seat that you want closer to the front. Like, it's just, oh my gosh, travel just, that's the one time where I'm like, oh, why can't I just like have a plane? I know I'll never have a plane, but like, you know what I mean? It's like that crazy delusional where
No.
you're like,
I mean, it's not like, to be honest, you do need money.
oh, you need a lot of money.
So you need privilege. But
and I don't have that, for the record.
Well, Justin's friend Austin,
Uh-huh.
he got his pilot's license and a plane for a total of, again, this is out of the question for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but like 45 grand.
Yeah, it's like a car.
That's a car.
It's a lot of money.
That's
but
a down payment on a house for a lot of people.
yeah.
A lot of money. But like, he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have expenses.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes,
that's literally,
that's his thing.
that's his
I mean,
thing,
that's his
his
thing.
passion.
Yeah, it's a passion project.
But yeah, like it's not, and just to get your pilot's license and then pay to rent a plane,
But where
he
do you
bought one.
could he fly that anywhere?
Yeah.
Like I could be like, I'm going to Minnesota in my plane. Really?
Yeah.
What about like
May take you longer.
Cancun?
But yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He is limited by distance. So like he couldn't fly his plane across the ocean to Hawaii
Because of his oil?
because of gas.
Okay, gas.
But he got jet fuel. But he got extra tanks.
Because of his coal? Like me not knowing how a plane works.
Yeah. It's okay. Happens to the best of us. But yeah, I mean, he got tip tanks too, so he can now fly a little further, but
Nice.
there's limitations.
Yeah.
I will just say, speaking of planes and traveling, and like we got far from this story, but I saw a post about this mom who passed out 200 goodie bags filled with earplugs and candy on a flight from like South Korea or something. And it was like a little note like, "Hi, I'm baby Henry. I'm sorry if I cry. This is my first flight and I'm nervous." And like this mom passed out 200 packs of earplugs and treats.
Oh my God.
So generous, but also so sad that she felt she had to do that. Like, I think people have this expectation of like planes being like, oh, babies can't cry on planes. It's like planes are, for a lot of people, public transportation.
Yeah.
And I think people forget like babies are humans. So give babies a little slack on the planes, guys.
Mhm.
I'm the first one to be like, babies on planes. Like, I get it. But I have like really had to like remember, even myself, like I was a hater on babies on planes.
Yeah.
But I've really tried to remember
There you go.
they're just little babies.
Patience.
A little more patience.
I've been okay with that. I've never been the person who gets mad about babies.
Yeah. You know, there's some people out there. But
Yeah.
what is your final verdict on pregnancy train guy? Asshole, not the asshole?
I don't know. Asshole in that situation, I guess. But like, I don't know. I'm not super irked by it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not super like I'm not angry about it.
Yeah. I feel like this is one where I'm kind of like, you're the asshole for not paying more attention to her. But also like, I don't think she should start pouting and then cancel the whole trip.
That's how I feel.
Get the whole family involved. This might be an everyone sucks.
That's how I feel about it. Where I'm like, yeah, you're kind of an idiot, but like,
It's not that big of a deal.
yeah,
It's easily remedied by just.
I personally wouldn't. And again, she's pregnant. Maybe she's got hormones. Maybe like, I think you read one of the symptoms was like irritability or like
moodiness.
So maybe this is part of that. I don't know. Maybe that's just her personality. But I personally am not going to go call my family and his family and like make this a huge thing and cancel. Like personally speaking, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not that angry about it. But again, I don't know. Maybe she's really tired and fed up and just this was her final straw. I don't know.
Okay, moving along. One last one with Alejandra.
Woo, woo, woo.
Okay, so this is vintage. It's 4 years old, coming from r/relationships.
Ooh.
It is titled, My 28 female boyfriend, 29 male of 2 years will not stop speaking in a fake Italian-American accent and keeps making up foreign words. It's just ridiculous. Throw away because he uses Reddit and also because this is kind of embarrassing. Okay, to preface this, I love my boyfriend and he is a super sweet, nice, smart guy that I feel lucky to have. But his behavior lately is freaking me out and makes me worried for the future. My boyfriend loves movies, especially mob movies. He has all of the Sopranos DVDs at his place and I'm pretty sure he still watches them that way. That's fine. Obviously, you can watch and enjoy whatever you want. But last week, he saw The Irishman with some friends, and since then, he will not stop talking in like a fake, stereotypical mobster accent.
Sorry.
We were in an Uber the night after going out to dinner, and admittedly, the driver was going a little fast, but my boyfriend kept muttering things like, "Who's this fucking guy, huh? Dale Earnhardt Jr. over here?" And shooting "ho" as we took corners.
He's committed to the plot. No, he's gone.
He would not shut up and even gave the driver a 1-star review saying it was about respect.
No, you're lying.
Everyone has their quirks. I get it. And they can be what makes someone special. At first, it was even kind of cute/funny, but I just can't really understand this shift all of a sudden. It's been a week, and he continues to make asides in this voice. And when he gets drunk, he speaks in made-up Italian.
No.
Lauren?
It's the made-up tongue.
Like, we were having dessert at my sister's, and he came up to me and said, quote, "Hey, Ma, I got some home and hit the drippini."
No.
I'm the DD. I don't drink. So I asked him why he wants to leave and what a drippini is. His response was, quote, like a shower.
He said drippini for shower?
Yeah. Drippini is not a word in any language. He also never called me Ma before.
Oh my God, that he was referring to his girlfriend?
Yeah.
No, I thought he...
And now he does it almost all the time. I feel crazy. Like, is this going to be a permanent feature of his personality now?
Oh my God.
I know this sounds incredibly stupid compared to some of the other stories on here, but I'm really nervous about what this means about his personality/mental health.
Oh my God.
He really is a sweet, loving guy with a wonderful family, and we have a lot in common, but just like, I don't even know how to begin to approach this. I want to tell him off and be like, why do you keep doing this voice? Can you please stop? We don't live together, so thankfully it's not a constant thing, but like, what if we did and it was? Is this the kind of thing you just deal with when it's someone you love? ?
No. I keep thinking, why doesn't she just talk to him about it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not crazy to just be like, hey, like.
Why not join him? If you can't beat him, join him. Hey, Ma, let's go. I need a drippini.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This one's unique. I just don't see the issue with just like bringing it up.
It's not that serious. Not that deep. That's a lot of these. I'm going to be honest. I got really, really into Peaky Blinders.
Oh, I love Peaky Blinders.
I literally went around probably for a month.
Peaky Blinders. Whatever the heck the accent is.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
That was a good one.
I would just go around, literally no context.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with anything that was going on.
Shelby. Or whatever.
Do you know we're fucking the Shelbys? Peaky fucking Blinders.
Right.
Do you know who we are?
Right. Unprovoked.
Unprovoked.
Well, we've all done that. Like, haven't you seen the TikTok where it's like, You can't be friendly. Girls take friendly as flirty. You haven't seen this one?
No.
Please. I know everyone out there knows what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen that one.
You can't be friendly. Wait, like it's like you can't be friendly. Girls take friendly as flirty. Shut it down. And it's like this like really interesting accent.
Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, look it up. Anyway,
a TikTok I haven't seen.
It's a TikTok viral sound. Everyone just keeps like redoing it. It's from Love Island, UK.
The best.
And she's like telling him off, being like, girls take flirty as friendly, shut it down. And anyway, it's like, okay, out of nowhere, people just will start like doing that accent. And it's like funny, but like not in your everyday persona.
Yeah.
Like busting out with Peaky fucking blinders is like not your personality now.
That is true.
Like that's just, and it wore off. But like, if this is truly bothersome to her, I feel like she should just be like, yo, you're hilarious, but there's a time and a place. And I did not marry a fake Italian or like date a fake Italian. Pull it together. If you want to go to Italy, just say it, okay?
True. And some people have their bit. Honestly, this might be his bit.
That's his
from
bit.
now on.
Everyone should have a good bit. I love a good bit.
What's yours?
So Tommy and I, one of my good guy friends, he's big body.
Yeah.
You know the big body
The
bit.
big body.
The big body
bit. I think everyone needs to start doing this bit.
He's a big body and I'm Champagne LA and I'm also somewhat of a big body apparently. And so that's our bit. Like that's one of them. I probably have a couple others.
I feel like, and big body is like, it can be physical, but it's also energy.
It's energy. Oh
it's
yeah.
energy
for the
as
record.
well.
Yeah. It's not what I say I'm a big body. It's my energy.
Yeah. Explain what is a big body?
Well, it did start with actually physically him being a bigger body. Like he's 6'3".
It can be both.
He's like a big guy, like buff.
Big body.
Like, you know, he's
a big body.
Big guy. But like it became like big body energy. Like BBE is like, it's like big dick energy. Like anything that's like has a big body move. Like, oh, I'm about to like eat 5 donuts. It's like, okay, big body. And it's like a good thing. Or like if you big dick someone, it's like, okay, big body. Like he has a persona.
I love it.
Yeah. Where if he's like being like what he would call like soft, then he's hard body. Hard body is like a different persona.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's one of our bits. But then I also have like a bunch of bits with my family. Like I love a good bit. So I love this commitment to character.
I think it could be fun.
But I think it's a little scary that it's like taken over. Like, does he have a job? Does he do that at work?
Ooh. I think I need to watch The Irishman.
I haven't seen it. It's apparently like a 3-hour movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's really long.
Yeah, no.
Nothing wrong with that. But it's just like
a commitment.
Clear your night.
He's kind of giving Ken some
yes,
Ken-ergy.
Ken-ergy.
Have you seen Barbie?
Of course.
Life-changing.
Duh.
Absolutely life-changing. I saw this guy who was talking about his dad's review of Barbie, and he's like, there's going to be before Barbie, BB, and after Barbie, AB. And I agree.
Love it.
But it's giving like you know how all the Kens were obsessed with The Godfather?
Yes. Were they in that movie?
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, they were obsessed with The Godfather and horses. Casa Doja Mojo House.
Casa Doja Mojo House. But is that a Godfather reference?
No. But like they were all watching The Godfather.
Were they?
And that, yeah.
Oh, you're right. They were watching it and they explained this movie to me. Okay, yeah. I knew the horses
Issa
part.
walks in. She's like, oh, are you watching The Godfather?
Yeah.
Versus The Godfather?
Yeah, you're right.
And
you're right.
explain it to me.
Yeah, the mansplain it to me or whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's hilarious.
So it's just so funny. It's just such Ken
Dude,
thing.
I have like these male clients. I've had a couple of now where they all reference The Godfather, and I'm like, what is with guys?
Okay, Ken.
Like, what is with guys and The Godfather? Like, they love it. Like, they love that movie, and they love there's like lines in there that they'll like drop, and I'm like, I've never seen the movie. Fun fact.
I mean, it's good.
I'm sure it's good. I should go watch it, but
I don't know. Maybe for the time, because I know there's a Miles Teller show now about the making of The Godfather that's apparently incredible too. But
nice.
It wasn't life-changing for me personally.
Okay.
For those that it was, I'd love to hear why.
You know, to each his own.
Do you know that? Well, you don't know because you haven't seen it, but there's one scene where the guy wakes up with a horse head in his bed.
In The Godfather?
Yeah.
Ew, a real horse head?
I think it was a real horse head.
Stop. I don't even want to see this movie now. I haven't seen a lot of big movies. The
horse head, Godfather. Yes, it was a real horse. The studio had encouraged Francis Ford Coppola to use a fake horse head, but he didn't like the mock-up.
You're lying. Where did they get a horse head? I don't want to know.
His scouts found a horse ready for slaughter at a dog food
Stop!
plant in New Jersey.
No. Oh my God, I don't want to watch this movie. I can't condone that.
When that one is slaughtered, send us the head. Fuck The Godfather.
Oh my God, I hate this movie.
Yeah, it was, can you imagine being do you want to see the picture?
No.
Can you imagine being the actor that has to literally do that scene?
No. I'm literally getting goosebumps. I'm disgusted.
I feel like that would go against the union nowadays.
I don't know. It's just gross. That would never fly these days.
I don't think so.
No.
I think a lot has changed, especially recently, in terms of like actor rights, and like a lot of them have like intimacy directors and coordinators now.
I have heard of that with Sex Life.
Yeah, and so they wear like coverings, like basically like a nut cup and like things like that weren't offered. And I know one show that really advocated to have one is Outlander, and the character Jamie, the actor that plays him, I'm forgetting his name. I think it's I don't know.
I've never seen this.
So he didn't have one early on in the show, and he had very graphic scenes where he was.
What's this? Is this a show?
Yeah, it's called The Outlander.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Such a good show. I think you'd get into it.
What's it on?
Showtime or Stars. One of them. I gotta log in. You can.
Okay.
I'll let you use it. But he felt very, very, very violated, and he like really went to bat and said, no, we need an intimacy coordinator.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I think that also changed with Game of Thrones, where Emilia Clarke did not have one early on.
Again,
and
haven't seen the show, but I've heard.
Yeah. And so they changed it. And so those are recent. So like,
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I feel like that I have heard about those, like with Sex Life. In Euphoria.
Yeah.
There was like a sex coordinator or something. As they should.
Bare minimum.
As they should.
Bare minimum.
For sure.
Yeah. But this guy, I think you just have a conversation. I think I forgot to read the top comment.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Which is, LOL, what the fuck? He sounds like Michael Scott.
Literally. Yes, he does.
Is he Italian at all? I know plenty of Italian Americans who kind of amp it up like this.
Yeah.
You should let him know that it annoys you.
I don't think he's Italian because, well, again, I'm really jumping to a assumption here, but I feel like if he were Italian, he wouldn't be making up fake Italian words.
Yeah.
Like I would never in my make up fake Spanish words.
No, like even my dad is, he's not fluid in, oh my God, I'm forgetting it right now. But there's certain like Jewish words where he's like, oh, that's a mitzvah. Or like, oh, you putz or what, I don't know. There's a bunch of like words.
Yeah.
And he's not fluent in that,
Yeah.
but like he knows the actual words where he'll mix in.
Yeah. Of course.
Versus making up a drapini.
No, he literally made up a word. That's like, I feel like you wouldn't do that if you were truly Italian.
Also, if someone said drapini, I'd be like, oh, French press coffee?
I would think that's a drink.
Oh.
I don't know what kind of drink, but it's giving drink.
Very unclear.
Drapini,
yeah.
Okay.
Next comment down is, I'll have a gabagool salad on the side. If the salad isn't on the side, I send it back.
Is that like a Godfather?
It must be a Michael Scott quote, I was thinking.
I don't know. I freaking love Michael Scott.
I will have the gabagool.
What?
The gabagool.
I don't really know what that is.
You know, gabagool.
I don't have to have
What
that.
he's trying to say is
Guys,
gabagool.
all right.
I don't really think that we have that.
That's okay.
Bring in the gabagool.
I will have the spaghetti.
I love Dwight.
With a side salad.
Okay.
If the salad is on top, I send it back.
A side salad.
Gabagool.
Oh my, what is that? Is
That's salad on the side.
that's what that means?
Yeah, gabagool.
In what language?
Michael Scott.
Oh my God, he just made up a language.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
You know, I've never seen The Office.
Oh my God, please do.
I'm going to start.
It's so, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
I was ready to start it,
Uh-huh.
and then it got pulled from Netflix.
Oh, that's really frustrating.
Terrible timing.
That
so
is really frustrating.
I think it's on Hulu now. I'll get to it.
It's good.
I'll
It's a
get to
show
it.
that I have watched.
Yeah, it's good. I like this one. This is a fun one.
That was a funny one. I found a lot of enjoyment in that. Really freaking weird.
Mm-hmm.
If my boyfriend were doing that, we'd have to have a conversation. But I can't help but laugh. Like I'd applaud his commitment to the character, but like, let's snap out of it. Thank you.
Yeah. It's funny.
And scene. Okay.
I'm trying to see if there's any more comments from OP. Just like out of curiosity.
It's just funny that she's just like, She's just dealing with it. Like she's suffering in silence. Like she's not even like saying anything to him. Like, can you not?
Yeah. So she does go. The comment she responded to was deleted, but they basically say, that's what I hope. But what happens when another movie / show triggers it? I don't think I've seen this side of him before, and it kind of weirds me out since normally he's pretty reserved and soft spoken.
Yeah, honestly, that's another question. Is he gonna like morph into his next favorite character? Like maybe it's Peaky Blinders. So now he's Tom Shelby.
Yeah.
And then he watches Barbie and now he's Ken.
He's not hurting anyone. Honestly, out of all these today,
Truly.
this is my favorite.
Totally. 100%.
This is my favorite.
No one was hurt in this process.
No. Someone goes, this sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
OP goes, trust me, it gets old.
I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that.
Someone goes, sounds like he's having some sort of midlife crisis. Just gradually reminding him that it is not funny should help. Hopefully that persona will die out soon. I don't know if it's a crisis, but it definitely feels abrupt and almost on purpose. Yeah, it's called having fun.
Yeah, I think it's like laugh it off and then
Just having a good time.
it's only been 2 weeks.
Just if it's annoying, you walk away.
We'll just have a conversation.
Again, yeah. If you have a conversation and then he doesn't
Tell
stop.
him, yeah.
But it doesn't sound like there's been any, hey, this is a little much.
Yeah, she's been like, do I approach him? Yes, you approach him.
If you're annoyed by something minor your partner's doing, it's better to have the conversation and not bottle it up versus like,
Yeah.
I saw something interesting the other day where a lot of times guys will not talk about their emotions. And it's not that they don't feel their emotions. They just don't have the words to describe them because it's not something they've practiced.
Yeah.
Like if you think about women, typically we'll vent to our girlfriends. Oh my God, I just feel so annoyed.
Mhm.
He is driving me crazy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Guys don't do that.
I know.
Like when I ask Justin, I'm like, who do you talk to about when you're dealing with like us fighting or stress from your family? Like who do you go to besides me?
Yeah.
I don't really have anyone. And
So
I'm
if
like,
he wasn't dating you, who would he go to?
exactly. He would bottle it all up. And that's not healthy. And so I'm like, couples therapy is like a non-negotiable. Like we're going to start it just for like regular maintenance soon.
Yeah.
Because like we don't have any major issues, but when things do come up from external forces, it's nice to like have healthy ways to deal with it.
Totally.
But I think that's just such an interesting thing where like guys will then use something you say where if women do bring up, I'm speaking traditionally het relationships because I know it's so different for the queer community.
Yeah.
But like say I said to Justin like, hey, you know what? Like you said you would be there at 8 today and you didn't show up until 10 and I just would have appreciated a message just letting me know.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes me bringing up something as a, well, you know that one time when you were late 5 months ago, it really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you should have addressed that 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Don't wait and bottle up your emotions to when you have an excuse. And you know what I mean?
Well, that's tit for tat mentality.
Yeah.
But I will agree with you. Whereas I've noticed a lot in even my relationships that guys do that a little bit more than girls. Because as you mentioned, girls almost have like regular purging sessions.
Yeah.
Men don't. So they wait for an opportunity, almost like an
Yes.
invitation.
Yes, that's what it is. It's the invite.
It's like, oh, it's open season. Okay. And they pull out their like list and they're like, well, let's talk about what So it's like, you didn't, bro, just like bring it up when it happens.
Yeah. My little brother actually had an ex-girlfriend that kept a list.
I did at one point.
And it's like,
I know it's kind of unhinged.
just break up. Like if
I
you
know.
have a
Well,
list of things that piss you off, break up.
That's when I knew we were going to break up, when
Well,
I had the list.
Yeah. And there's a lot. I've seen, not a lot, I guess I've seen a couple people do it, but I've seen multiple girls talk about how it's like healthy to keep a list versus like addressing everything. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know about
Yeah, I don't know about that. It feels like you're keeping score. For me personally, the list was just to clarify. I wasn't sitting there like plotting against him. I was ready to start breaking up and I needed reminders because I'd get so lost in the good times that I needed to revisit that and be like, no, he did do all of these things.
Yeah.
Because I was like gaslighting myself a little bit.
Okay. I
So
can
that
see it
was-
being helpful there.
Yeah, it was almost like a journal to be like,
Yeah.
no, remember. But I can see how if you're actively in a relationship with someone with no intention of breaking up, then you're kind of keeping score.
Yeah.
That is like truly a little unhealthy in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one thing like after you have that initial conversation in a relationship, if someone does bring up like other issues, like the invitation, like you said, I think that's a great time to be like, hey, going forward, let's address things as they pop up.
Yes.
It's not going to hurt my feelings. And hey, if it does, I'm going to try to not take it personally. I'm really going to try to hear you in the moment and change behavior or see how we can address it together.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get offended if a partner brings up something or, you know, you feel attacked.
Yeah.
We all get there. It happens. But just like step back and like just take it as it is with a grain of salt and move forward.
And or just even be honest and say like, I can't promise that my feelings aren't going to be hurt because they might, right? But I can promise you that I'll work to get past it, and I'll promise that I'll try to like take it, you know, productively. But I might have my feelings hurt, but that's just part of the process.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
The way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, well that's Alejandra's segment on patience.
That's me.
Anything you want to tell the people before we go?
No. Nothing comes to mind.
No. Okay.
No.
Well,
just have a good summer. Hags.
It's
wrapping up.
Hawkus.
What's hawkus?
Have a kick-ass summer.
Have a kick-ass summer. Summer's coming to a close.
It is.
Make the best of it.
Yeah.
Full send.
Speaking of summer coming to a close, we are doing a live show at the University of Minnesota on September 26th. If you are a University of Minnesota student or you have a connection to a student or faculty member, you can go for free. So it's a totally free show. So if you have a friend that goes to the University of Minnesota, you can show up as long as you're with them.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I'm like over here like...
Yeah. So I'll post more info when I get it. I just learned that detail today.
Nice.
So mark it on your calendars. Tuesday, September 26th, we will be at the University of Minnesota.
Hey, go Gophers.
Yeah. I might do a little meet and greet in the like quad before. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. Just follow the Two Hot Takes Instagram or my personal and you'll see lots of info on that. But it'll be a good time.
Beans.
Okay. Until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.